you? I hope you're having a beautiful day already and you are ready to work out with me using our chair. So along with our chair today, we are going to be using the long or sitting box for the reformer, and that is the only extra accessory we have in today's workout, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I have found that actually bringing this box in alongside the chair provides some fun, creative things that we can do with the pedal and whatnot. So I just expect today's flow to be a strong, full body flow for sure. We are definitely going to be targeting our abs. We will also get our arms, and as usual, we'll get some booty work in there too, okay? And then we'll just get like an overall movement of the spine and just kind of stretch of the whole body head to toe, all right? So your setup to start is going to be putting both of your springs on the bottom cactus, okay, or cactus number 1, and then we're just gonna start standing facing our chair. So for this one, I normally stand with my feet sit bones apart, toes facing forward, legs are in parallel. For whatever reason, I feel like mixing it up today. As you know, I love to do that. So let's bring our feet into first position. So heels together, toes apart. Wrap the back line of your legs. Inhale, take a deep breath in, reach your arms all the way up overhead. You can bring a little arch of the spine here, lifting the heart up towards the ceiling. Exhale, dive forward, folding over, and bring the heels of your hands onto the pedal. I want you to get the crown of your head looking at the top of the pedal as your gaze looks back through your thighs and your legs, and you push your pedal all the way down to the floor. As a slinky would, you're just going to slowly lift back up to the top of that pedal, and then you're going to round back down and over as you push it down towards the floor. Good. As you inhale and lift, you're trying to press your hips forward. As you exhale and you go over, you're still tucking that tail, scooping that belly, and wrapping tightly the back line of the legs together. That's it. Let's focus on our breath. Inhale, inflate yourself all the way up to the top. This is nice and slow, just like a rocking motion, but find your connecting points along the way, both up and down. Let's take it for 2 more. Good, and 1 more. All the way down at the bottom here. Let's separate those heels so we come to a parallel stance and your feet are a fist apart. You're just going to bend the elbows narrow as you lift the pedal up and press it back down. Little tricep press here as you continue to look back through your thighs, tucking your tail and trying to press your hips forward. So that's really where we're going to try and find that flexion of the lumbar spine as you bend and press the arms with that pedal for 6 and 5 and 4. My bar is noisy, sorry. And 3 and 2 and 1. Hold your arms straight. You're going to switch or flip your grip so that your fingers are facing in. And now when you bend, your elbows face out and then you press down. Continue to curl your tail through those legs, trying to press the hips forward. And you should feel a deep core connection here. I feel my abs a little bit on fire. Go for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Fingers face back forward as you slowly round it all the way back up to the top. You're going to unwave your spine so that you come into a nice flat back here. You're going to press that pedal back down just a little bit. So you're going to try and bring those shoulders to the level of your hips in space behind you. So you're not shoulders above, but you're just the tabletop back. And now we're just going to go through a small protraction and retraction of our shoulder blades, keeping the arms straight and long. You're gliding the shoulder blades down and together as they reach back, and then apart and around and forward as they reach forward. Good. Keep your back nice and flat, reaching forward through the crown of your head and back through your tail evenly. Good. All right. Let's go for 3 and 2 and 1. Find a neutral in between the protraction and retraction. Let's reach the right toes straight back behind you. Square the hips off to the floor and just lift that back right leg straight up and down for 10 and 9 and 8. It's like someone's pulling it back behind you. For 7, so don't roll the hip open. For 6 and 5, you want to feel your right obliques working. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lower the toes down, then I want you to reach them back behind you so you cross behind you. Arc the leg up and out, tap down. So we're drawing a little semicircle or half moon or crescent behind us as we tap down behind us and then tap down out to the side, okay? Without any shifting of the hips. And yes, you are hovering with this pedal, so you've got to hold that up. So we're working both the back muscles and the obliques as well as our hips. Good, let's go for 4 and 3 and 2 and last one. Cross back, come to the center, and now slide that foot back underneath you. Make sure that your feet are right underneath their respective sit bones. We aren't going to move the right leg to the center. We're going to reach the left toes straight back behind us, and we lift and lower for 10 and 9. Keep the spine nice and long for 8, 7, 6, 5, hips are square, for 4 and 3, pull from that hamstring for 2 and 1, toes down. Slide the leg back and cross behind you. We lift up, out and down for 1 and 2 and 3. We're going to go for 8. So you know how much we're going for 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Cross all the way back. Come center, slide that foot underneath you. You're still in a tabletop. Last for protraction and retraction of those shoulder blades. Make sure your chest is not higher than your hips. One more. Lift all the way up. And then roll the spine all the way back to standing. Okay, so we are gonna come back around, change one of your springs. You're gonna bring it up to your second cactus. So you've got 1 on 2 and 1 on 1, okay? Come back around to facing your chair. You're gonna come to, let's go sit bones apart, legs parallel, toes forward, step relatively close to the base of your chair, and then let's start with our left foot up onto that pedal, okay? Make sure that your feet aren't crossed or too close together here. I want the heel to be halfway raised. I see a lot of this with the foot or like a gripping, so you want to spread your toes and think press down. It might be easier to find that position by pushing your pedal down on the floor and then standing into it and feeling that. So notice like I'm going to want to press that heel a little bit, or the tendency is I want to try not do that. So I'm going to try not to do that. Keep that heel halfway lifted, and now we're just going to lift the pedal and press down just till it comes right over that bottom position, but don't weight into it on the floor, right? You want to really focus more on the resisting of the pedal coming up than the press down. It's not like a crazy weight, so you could probably easily just crush that thing down to the floor. That's not what we're interested in. We're almost more interested in the eccentric part of this movement. Good, I'm talking a lot. Let me give you a chance to just breathe and connect to this, right? Hands can be however you want, on hips, to a T, overhead, or in prayer. That's it. Let's take it for 4, 3, 2, feel your femur bone drop back. One more. Good. Push it halfway down. Bring your hands to either side of your chair and the front of your knee. Rest gently against the front of the chair. Now we're going to flex and point that foot for 10, 9. All the control is through the ankle now. Nice flat back reaching for 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lift back up to standing, okay? And let the pedal come all the way to the top. You're gonna hop and turn to the right. Try and do it without opening your pedal, okay? And then bring this left foot just slightly in front of your right. You're in an equal turnout. Lift this heel up, hands to your hips. Press your pedal down. Maybe you wade into it just to make sure you have your right stance. You're not too far to the side. And lift. Down and lift. Focus on the drop of the femur bone back as the knee lifts up. Good. Try not to depress the heel. I know it's a tendency. I have to fight it as well. You're standing tall. Just make sure you're not leaning. Good. We go for 5 more. Woo. 4, 3. This is balance as well. For 2, 1. Press it all the way down to the bottom. Hold it here. The heel lifts and lowers for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Don't let it lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay here. This right foot is going to step out wide. So you can come into like a wide plie, or yeah, think of it as a plie. It's not a squat. We plie down and lift up. Notice that my right leg can straighten, my left cannot. Can we try and keep this left heel lifted for 8 and 7, for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it down. Now it's the right heel that gets to lift and lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now step this right foot in, and now carefully with control lift that pedal all the way up and turn back to face your chair. We're going to bring your right foot up now onto that pedal. Legs are parallel, heel is lifted. We press down and up, down and up. Adjust in the beginning if you need to. What you want to try and not have is like this lean forward from your standing leg. So I kind of want you to try and establish as though you are standing against a wall behind you. So sometimes you might need to walk your standing leg a little bit closer to the base of your machine. And it helps to have a mirror, because as I'm looking at you, I don't have a mirror, so it's hard for me to tell if I'm leaning forward. I feel like I am a little bit. There we go. I gotta like do what I preach. Go for 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Hands to the side of the chair. Bring the front of that knee to the chair, and here we go with a point and a flex for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand it back up with control, and then lift your pedal to the top. Don't move your right foot. See if you can turn and open out. Whew, as I like shake the entire room. And then you're going to make sure that this foot is in front of the hip, okay? Same turnout here. Go ahead and press all the way down, making the adjustments at the bottom that you need to. Make sure you're not leaning, and you're gonna lift and press, lift and press. I have to catch myself sometimes because I'm too chatty. And 4 and 5. That femur bone is dropping back into the socket, so this hip should not be lifting up. Okay, for 7, whew, and 8, 9, 10. Hold it onto the bottom. Press it all the way down. Lower the heel, lift the heel. Down and up. Don't let that pedal come up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't put your body weight into it. Your body weight's here for 5 and 4 as mine's lifting. For 3 and 2. I caught myself. 1. Keep the heel lifted. Step it wide, almost wider than second position. We plie down and up. I'm so used to saying squat. I'm like, this is a plie because your hips are staying underneath your shoulders. That to me is a plie, not really a squat. All right, 4. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. 5 and 6. We go to 10. 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Now lift the heel up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't drop this one for 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in first. Woo! Now you can lift it up with control. Good job. Give yourself a little shake out from that. And now we're going to go change our springs. So for this, I'm thinking that we're going to take it to 1 spring on your top cactus, and your other spring you're going to take off. Let's do a little experiment, and we'll see if we need to adjust that. Take your box now, put it in the long box position, and it's going to be facing your chair here. Go ahead and come to seated on your box. And let me just explain where we're going with this. That will help us to know whether we're in the right position or not. We're lying down onto our box, hands behind the head, and then we're going to have toes or heels onto this pedal. We'll be pressing down and up. And yeah, I like that spring, okay? You don't want it to be overly heavy. You might think, oh, I could do more than that. The thing is if it's overly heavy, it can easily bring strain into the knees. If you want more challenge, it's going to be to come onto your toes. That totally changes the focus. You will also a little bit be more in the anterior part of your legs than the posterior. But we are going to take this into single leg. So just to let you know where we're going. All right, when the pedal is up, let's start with the feet fist apart, sit bones apart. You're gonna let the chest fall back. Inhale here, it's almost a relax. Exhale, curl forward, press the pedal down. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. Certainly don't clunk into the bottom. And then inhale, lift and reach the upper back behind you. Exhale, fold forward. So we're trying to bring the back of the body into this interior work with our core. That's it. Good. Let's do these for 8 and 7, just warming it up, and 6 and 5. Good. And 4, if your feet start to slip, reposition, and 3, I just did mine, and 2, and 1. Hold it here, keep your curl, reach your arms forward. You're going to lift the pedal up, you're going to bring your left leg to a tabletop, just the right leg presses down and lifts, and presses down and lifts, all in the back of the body there for 3 and 4. We go for 6 and 5 and 6. Switch legs, make it nice and fluid for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Last one, whoops, bring it up to the top, both feet come back on, hands come behind the head, left leg goes straight out. All right, we're gonna bring it into our crisscross here. When the right heel presses down, the left knee pulls in and we twist towards it, and then release and reach. Good, and it doesn't press down as much, that right heel, you'll find, unless you were to drop your spring down. Good, we did 3, let's do 5 more. and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Switch legs, left heel on, right leg reaches. Here we go. We press and twist to the right as the right knee pulls in. Good. Really try and get that press of that left heel down. Mine doesn't want to connect quite. There we go. You might have to switch your grip kind of where it is in the heel. That's 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Both feet on, let your chest just fall back for a minute, for a second, never a minute, right? Take an inhale here, curl back forward. You're just gonna let your knees fall off to the left, legs together here, and as you press down, you're just curling forward a little bit. It's a small movement. We're targeting those obliques here. Good. Let's take it for 3, and 4. We go to 8, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Really try and lift up. You're going to bring the knees around, swing them around to the right. Heels stay where they are. Legs are squeezing together. Here we go for 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Last 1. Bring the knees back through center. Let the feet come down onto the floor. Reach your arms all the way up and roll it up. You're going to simply reach through and drop this spring down to the number 2 cactus. So if you felt that that was not too difficult in your single leg work, you could just drop it to the number 3 cactus. Okay, I'm going to go down to number 2. All right, we're going to roll it right back down onto that box, but keep the head, neck, and shoulders curled forward. We're going to come onto the toes. Both feet come on. Hands go back behind your head to support the weight of your head, wide elbows here. Your left leg reaches out over the chair. We're on our toes now on the bar. Your left leg's going to pull straight up towards you as you press the bar down with your right foot, and then it reaches away, okay? So this is like a single leg scissor here. Good. I sort of repositioned myself a little bit too close to my chair. There we go. That's it. Good. Take it for 4 and 3. My feet are in parallel. For 2 and 1. Now let's come into a turnout. It's just the left leg that's going to be in a turnout. Same thing for 8. Let's add a little reach of the right arm and a twist for 7 and 6. There we go. For 5, that's more like it. And 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Awesome. Switch legs. Reach your right leg long. You're on those left toes. Here we go. We press and pull. Just this in parallel for 8 and 7 and 6 for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. 1 more. Turn the right leg out, reach the left arm wide, and we twist at the top, reaching across the outside of that right leg for 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Last 1. Good. Bring your feet all the way back down onto the pedal. You can just rest them there and let your chest fall back. So if you want to reposition yourself on your box like I did and actually let the chest go back and off of the box, this is just a nice breaking point for that thoracic spine. Take an inhale here. With an exhale, curl head, neck, and shoulders forward. Reach your legs long. You can rest them on the chair, or you can attempt to do a teaser with me. Lift it all the way up. We're going to go back down and up for 2 more. And lift. And down again. Last time up. Good. And bring your hands behind you and your feet in front of you. All right, we are going to put this spring onto your number 3rd cactus. Keep your box the way you have it, but you're gonna move it much closer to the base of your chair. We're all gonna come and lie down onto our right hip here. Before you lie down, get a hold of this pedal, push it down all the way to the floor, and you bring your right forearm onto the pedal. This will help you kind of feel if your box is close enough, not close enough. You want to be supported underneath your hips, okay? And we're going to let that pedal lift us up and lower down. But we're not going to use this left hand as a kickstand. We're going to reach it up. Good. So we're just going up and down. Try not to let these legs drop as your torso lifts. Good. Also be careful that the shoulder doesn't try and inch up to your right ear as you lift the pedal, right? You've got it. Hips stay stacked. As you come up, this top hip isn't rolling back. Just little reminders, all the little things that can kind of like go wrong, and sometimes we just don't realize it because there's a lot to think about. Let's take it for 5 more. If you want to make it harder, as you go down, you bring the arm overhead. Heavier lever, harder to hover. For 4. Whew. For 3. For 2. And 1. Go all the way down to the floor here. Doink. This is why we don't do a super strong spring, because then it would be easy for that hover, okay? All right, you're just resting on the floor for right now. Bring it up to that hover. And now we're gonna work through this top leg. So you're welcome to bend your bottom leg, or you wanna keep it straight. That's more of a challenge. Just reach it to the front corner of your box. You can totally use, we're gonna lift and lower the top leg. You can totally use this hand as a kickstand hand just in front of you on the box. It's quite a lot of sort of floating pieces here, and your only real solid anchor is the box underneath your hips. So if you need it, if you can do this, just sort of amazed. I can't do that without like wading down into the floor with my pedal. Up and down for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now you bring this leg forward, tap it down to your bottom foot, lift it up, and then tap it down sort of to the imaginary floor. So you're just drawing a little crescent here, and I say imaginary because you cannot get it down to the floor behind you, but that's simply the trajectory. You're drawing a little rainbow with your leg for 5 more, and 4. Still hovering with this pedal for 3, and 2, and 1. Bring it all the way back forward, bend it in, and lift the pedal, woo, up to the top. We're gonna go around to the other side. We're not gonna change, we're just going around to the other side because the box stays in this position, so that'll just give us less things to change. So go ahead and get your left forearm on that pedal, press it all the way down, reach your legs straight out, stack your hips, and here we go. Just start with your lifts and lowers of the torso and the pedal. Let's reach the right arm, woo, up. This one feels harder for me. I feel like I say that every day. I'm like, oh, this side. And then what's funny is I never remember actually which is like my side that is the most challenging, but I feel like it's different. Just in different exercises. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, just lowering down and lifting up. Try and keep those legs straight and strong, and don't let them wave down and up. It's just your torso that's lifting up and down, just to a hover over that frame. Good. Let's go for 5 and 4. Let's make it harder. The arm goes overhead as the pedal goes down. Woo, for 3. and 2, and 1. Lift it up one more time, and now go all the way down to the floor just for your transition. Move that bottom leg forward to the front corner of your box. Lift your pedal up to a hover again. Right hand is your kickstand. Lift and lower that top leg up and down. Let's take it up and down for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Here we go. We tap down to that front foot. We lift up, draw a rainbow, and tap back. It's really, you're in the air, but that's what you're doing. You're drawing a little rainbow up and forward and up, down and back. You've got it for 6 and 5 and 4. Keep that pedal to a hover for 3 and 2. 1 more. Stitch those legs together, bend your knees, and carefully lift your pedal all the way to the top. Okay, so I'm going to spin around.
Thanks for moving with me, you guys. If you liked this workout, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you get a notification each time I upload a new video. Come over to my website at goneadventuring.com if you're interested in more full-length workouts or live classes each week. Join us. Let's do this together at any time from anywhere. I'll see you soon.